Transport across cell membrane is the second chapter in general physiology. When we see the learning objectives of transport across cell membrane, there is first we should know the basic structure of cell membrane, functions of cell membrane, types of transport process, that is respectively the active transport and passive transport. Now we see one by one. First, cell membrane. In first slide, when we see the structure of cell membrane, the structure of cell membrane is formed by lipid bilayer with proteins embedded in it. The proteins are the integral part of that cell membrane. This figure showing the basic structure of cell membrane. Here there is in a lipid bilayer membrane where the proteins are embedded either externally, either internally or through transmembrane protein. These transmembrane proteins here acts as gates or channel that plays an important role for the transport across cell membrane. Now, next question arises, what are the functions of cell membrane? Cell membrane basically acts as semi-permeable membrane. It maintains difference in composition of extracellular fluid and intercellular fluid and fluid in various organelles. It protects cell from toxic substances, excretion of waste products and transport of nutrients. Secondly, the cell membrane receives signals from outside, either chemical signals and electrical signals. Cell membrane also acts as a site for attachments to the neighboring cell. These are basically the three important structural functions of cell membrane. These are the selective, secondly receiving signals, and third site for attachment to the neighboring cells. Now the issue arises regarding transport across cell membrane. The transport across cell membrane basically divided into two types, that is active transport and passive transport. The active transport is further divided into two, that is primary active transport and secondary active transport. While the passive transport is further divided into two, that is diffusion and osmosis. Where the diffusion is further divided into simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Now, this is the same charts that explain you the basic classification of the methods of transport. Here we see the in transport, protein channels plays an important role. Now, when we see the details regarding protein channels, the protein channels are two, respect to the leaky channels and gated channels. The gated channels are again further divided into either voltage gated channels and ligand gated channels. This is the basic classification of protein channels. When we see the first part of transport, that is passive transport. The passive transport, we already see it is divided into two, that is simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Now, what occurs exactly in simple diffusion? It is nothing but the movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration till equilibrium is reached. This is the moment of molecules which is observed from higher concentration towards lower concentration, and this moment is continuous up to till equilibrium is reached. This is simple diffusion. Now, when we see this simple diffusion, the diffusion can take place through various parts. Basically, there are two parts. That means cell structure has two parts. First is lipid bilayer. Through this lipid bilayer, there are basically lipid soluble substances are passed, lipid insoluble substances are passed like water, and some electrolytes are passed. While there is another part, that is protein channels. When we see these protein channels, these are already see they are divided into, that is open or leaky, and second is gated. Then open and leaky, the best example is sodium channels and potassium channels. Well, the gated channels, the channels open under specific conditions. These are known as gated channels. like ligand gated channel and voltage gated channel. The voltage gated channels मतलब the channels that operates either by changes in electrolytes. Now the next point, that the factors which affecting this rate of diffusion. Basically these are divided into different groups. First are molecular factors, second are membrane related factors, and next are some gradient factors. Now the factors which affecting this rate of diffusion, first molecular factors like lipid solubility, molecular size, molecular weight, and temperature. While membrane related like the thickness of membrane or surface area. While a gradient factor like concentration gradient, pressure gradient, and electrical gradient. Now the fixed slope diffusion, which is based on these different factors that affecting or this rate of diffusion. This is the equation that showing the fixed slope diffusion. According to Fick's law of diffusion, the net rate of diffusion is directly proportionate to first concentration gradient of a substance, second permeability of membrane to substance, and third surface area of membrane. These are the directly proportionate, while the net rate of diffusion is inversely proportionate with molecular weight of substance and thickness or distance of cell membrane. This was concerned with simple diffusion. When we see the second part, that is facilitated diffusion. This diffusion occurs for larger water soluble molecules. Types of passive transport. It occurs along concentration gradients. It requires carrier mediated transport. Receptor site is on one side like this. This is the mechanism showing in this animation. This is the mechanism showing in this animation. Now when we see this rate of transport, now this graph easily shows us the rate of transport is directly proportional to the concentration gradient in simple diffusion. But in facilitated diffusion, up to some mark it is correct. But after some time it make a plateau stage, that is Vmax. This is the simple explanation useful to understand you the difference between simple and facilitated diffusion. In examination, this is an important point and this is an important graphical presentation. We can draw it any short note concerned with this transport question. Now in this, we see the difference between the rate of simple and facilitated diffusion. The last point arises in this part, that is osmosis and osmotic pressure. When two solutions of different concentration are separated by semi-permeable membrane, water molecule diffuse from solution having less concentration to solution having higher concentration. This concept is known as osmosis, and the pressure that prevents this is known as osmotic pressure. This is a graphical representation showing the process. Now the osmotic pressure is the minimum pressure that applied on the solution with higher concentration which prevents osmosis. It depends upon total number of particles of dissolved solutes rather than type of particles. Toward the end, we will see the different types of solutions like isotonic solution, hypotonic solution, and hypertonic solution. Isotonic solution, the fluid having osmolarity same as that of plasma. These are isotonic solution. When hypotonic solution, RBC swells and hemolysis occurs. While vice versa, in hypertonic solution, RBC shrink because water moves out there. Such you should know these three terminologies concerned with the RBC particles, respectively isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and hypotonic solutions. Now, this was the first part concerned with the transport across cell membrane. In second part, that is active transport. In active transport, we will discuss detail concerned with the difference, the basic difference between primary active transport and secondary active transport, along with some active processes like endocytosis and exocytosis.